Hello, Sydney Observatory, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to program buttons inside your Access database, specifically called the Citizen Star naming system. So, as you may be familiar, in order to name a star, we'd have to click on Name a Star in the switchboard, which is the central menu of the system, which will take us through various layers of data input in these forms. Then we go on to layer by layer by layer until we reach the final layer, which actually transmits the certificate to the International Astronomical Union. But a problem arises when we make a mistake. Either yourself or the customer makes a mistake in any of the forms below. Now, there really isn't a way for us to navigate back to the previous forms. And so we have to create the buttons, these navigational buttons, in order to get back to those screens. So we'll close everything. And let's make some buttons. So let's head over to the relevant forms. So since the customer details is the first form, we're going to skip that and head over to the second form, since we're going to be going from the second to the first. So we'll head over to this one. And this one. And this one. And this one. Okay. So for the star details, we'd have to create a button that will allow us to go back a record. So now, before I made this button, but this button doesn't work. So to make a button again, we're gonna have to do this. So we're gonna head over to form design tools and head over to design. These are the control boxes, which have various tools which we can use, which have various actions within the database. But for our purposes, we need to make a button. So we'll click on this one, called the button tool, the rectangle with the 4 X's. We'll click on the form, and there she is. This is the command button wizard, which is just a very quick way of having commands assigned to a button. So since we want to go back, it's a form, and we need to open a form, we'll have to go to open form. We'll select the form from this selection box, and since we're going back to the first form, which is FRM customers, we'll select that. Next, because we want to show it all. And here we go. And now we have to label the button, and we'll call it previous, like how we did before. And next, finish. Voila, our button is complete. Okay, so we'll just put that there. First, we'll see if it works before we polish it up. Save. And voila, it works. It takes us back to the first form. Close that. We'll go back to design view. Now, this current button doesn't really match up with the rest of these buttons, so we'll have to fix that up. To change the format, we head over to the Format tab. We'll make the characters darker, and we'll make the actual button suit to the actual colors of the system, which is this one. There we go. And now we want to change the border, because this is pretty smooth and these are pretty angular. So we'll head over to the property sheet, which is this column here. Head over to border style. It's currently solid, but if we change it to transparent, it'll be nice and rough like all the other buttons. So now that works. There we go. Save that. Head over to home, go to form view, and the button is now complete, but we sort of need to center that. So I have to move it just a little bit. Actually, no. Very important things to consider with form design is that it not only has to be practical, but it also has to look good so that it doesn't appear muddled up. So basically, all the details have to be grouped together. So as you can see here you have all the star details. Make sure that only relevant star details get put into the forms. So for example, for the star details, you wouldn't ask for a customer's name, nor would you put in their payment details. Only all the details that relate to a star and their selection go here. And as with any system, data verification and validation is also very important. So you have to ensure that you have these drop-down boxes whenever you can, and that the information is verified. Now, verification, as you all know, is done here when the verification letter is printed out and sent to the customer so that they can confirm their details. So we'll just head over to design view. Let's fix up this button, make it some more center. Not there, just a touch. It doesn't really match up with this, so I guess I'll have to put it somewhere else. Actually, no, we'll just have it underneath the proceed button. It won't look that centered, but I guess it'll work for now. Here we go. A little bit of the proceed. Save that. See how that looks? Ooh. Always a hit and miss when it comes to this kind of stuff. Hit and miss. Okay. And now that'll have to do. Let's just change the label. We'll change it to a more obvious title. Previous one. There we go. Make this that touch bigger. That's it. Actually, no, not yet. Sorry if I'm being a little OCD about this, but you know, form design, all this kind of stuff. It's an art form. It's an art form, so it's got to look good. That'll do. That'll save. So then now we have a button to navigate back a form. So after star details, we head over to payment details. Now, since the name of the game is efficiency, all we have to do is just copy this. Actually, no, we can't copy this. And you know why? Because if we copy this button, it will always open up the customer form, because that's what the button's programmed for. So we'll have to make a new form in the payment details. So here, same deal. Create. Sorry, no, oops. Design. Make a button. Have it here. We're gonna open a form. And now we're going back. We're gonna go to this time the star details. Form. Finish. There we go. Just make sure that the design is consistent. That's it. Make sure that all the colors, all the buttons look the same. Can't have different buttons. And just making sure it's a bit centered. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. We'll just have that underneath proceed. Actually, no, we'll make the proceed and the previous form buttons the same size. There we go. That's nice, good. We'll have to change this as well. Since we can't actually put it inside the actual database, we'll have to, into the actual subform, we'll have to keep the design consistent. So we'll see how this goes. Save view. There we go. Not the same size. Oops. The border is not the same, so we'll have to change that. What is this? Transparent. That'll do. Good. Save. Okay, so then payment details. This works. See if this works. Just close. Oops, design. Oh yes, right. So it won't really work since the actual design. Since the star details is already open. So we'll save that, close that, and now it should work. Oops, this is order confirmation. Let's go back to there. Payment details. Da 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 da, and it works. And if you want to go back as well, da 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 da, opens again. Let's close that, and we'll close that, and we'll close this. So that works. And now we're going to head over to order confirmation. And from order confirmation, we're going to head over to the payment form. So open form, next, payment details, next. This form. Finish. Make that just a tad bigger. Get design consistent. Open up the property sheet. Make the border transparent. Make sure that they are the same size and they'll look the same as well. It's very important. There we go. Save. Always save whenever you do something because you never know when something will fail. Use form. And it takes us to payment details, which is good. Exit that. Finally, we have certificate transmission. Create a button again. Going to the previous form, so that was the order confirmation. Next, next, next. Previous form. Make sure that all the properties are consistent. Thank you. Transparent. And good. Make sure that they're the same size. Center it. Very important that everything is well designed and aesthetically pleasing. And there you have it. Previous form. That's our order confirmation. And that's good. So now it should work. So we want to name star. We proceed. But we made a mistake, so we'll go back. But it's already open. It's already there. Have to do. So there you have it, guys. That's the first part done. That will bring us back. The problem is, if we do go back, it doesn't do anything because the actual form is already open there. Now, as you may have figured out, that in order to open up a previous form, the previous form has to be closed first. So then we have to make another program, another command, to make sure that previous form closes. And to do that, we're going to need to use macros. And that'll be in the next installment of Vincent Does Tutorials. Thank you very much.